Christie Aphrodite of Soul Journeys Radio and MyTrueEssence.net. And I wanted to, oh my gosh, since I did the oil pulling experiment video, I've been totally flooded with email and people asking me, how did you do that? How did you do that? And you know, so I'm sorry, but I don't have time to go through, you know, email and say the same thing over and over again. So I decided I'll just make a quick little video with a demonstration and I'll show you new pictures. I think the last video was only the first 3 days. Well, now it's been today's the 8th day. And I just have to say, in regards to oil pulling, when I first started this, I really didn't know if it would actually work. I never knew anyone that it really worked for. We've read all the stories and, you know, supposedly testimonials, but again, we've never seen any before and after photos, so I really didn't know if this was going to work or not, but I am totally freaking shocked at how fast it's working. And you know, I've sent the pictures to actually several people in Facebook groups and, you know, like, wow, how did you do that? And anyways, so I have a long ways to go, obviously, because you've seen the pictures, and since I'm doing the video with a handheld camera, then I'll be able to edit this and actually put the whole, you know, the full-size photos in this video so everyone can see them. But, okay, so, you know, I've been doing a lot of research on the oil pulling thing, and I explained what I had found in the last video. I won't waste that time here, but I also shared some of my suspicions that I thought it could be pharmaceutical drug related, because, you know, why else would this happen? And again, yeah, I had braces, I had fillings, and I had all my 4 wisdom teeth pulled. Never any problem, it was just kind of the thing to do. And you know, I also want to talk about this aspect of it is, you know, I got emails, it's like, oh, come on, what are you drinking, Everclear? Or, you know, you must have done some serious drugs or this and that. And yeah, absolutely, I was on drugs, but I didn't know they were drugs. So I wasn't like doing street drugs. I was taking the same things that, you know, the dudes in white coats and the badges and, you know, the sweet little doctors that are healing us give us. So thankfully I know what I know now, and I'm not going to do that again, but when you grow up that way from ever since I was this big, the time I remember, that was just the way it was. So who am I to question authority? I got taught that lesson a few times. So I wanted to share with you everything I'm doing here, and so getting back to those findings, you know, some of my suspicions were about the drugs. I found that there were over 600 prescription drugs that cause tooth decay, and also over-the-counter medicine. So, you know, things like aspirin, inhalers, steroids, anti-anxiety, antidepressants, anticonvulsants, antipsychotics, heart medication, what else? Headache medication, seizure medication. Oh man, there was a billion. So like I said, over 600, and it was kind of hard to find because they want you to think that the only people that, you know, the only way you would have tooth decay is if you abuse these drugs. They didn't like, up until this report I found previously, they didn't like actually take responsibility. They just said, oh, it's people who abuse prescription drugs, and you know, I'm sorry. I was like goody girl. I did everything I was told to do, and since I was on those drugs, I didn't do street drugs or things like that. So, I mean, that's a total myth. And now that I've come out of the closet, so to speak, you know, a lot of people are coming forward and sharing their stories and sharing their teeth with me too, because they're experimenting with me as well. Their teeth, their, you know, different drugs that they were on before they found out, and it's just like really, really sad. I mean, most people have tooth decay. So, you know, you little 20-year-olds that are thinking, ew, that's never gonna happen to me. What's wrong with you? Just wait. I mean, if you're taking those diabetes medications, or let's say chemo, God, there were so many, over 600. So I'll put, you know, some links below that you can you know, you can see with your own eyes, or just do your own search and just, you know, keep searching. Go like 10 or 12 pages down into the search instead of page 1 or page 2, because that's where all the mainstream stuff is. So anyways, all right, so this is what I'm doing, and this is the thing with what I'm doing. I did say I was going to try the different oils, the sesame oil, the sunflower oil, and coconut oil, which I'm doing now for increments of at least, you know, I'm going to do 2 weeks each. I'm documenting, taking pictures, writing down notes about how I feel and everything, if there's any sensitivities or whatever. And yeah, well, I don't want to I'll talk about that later. So the problem with what I'm doing right now with the different oils and methods is that I'm not sure which is working. Is it the oil pulling itself, just the act of using coconut oil, or is it because I'm meditating and visualizing while I'm doing it? Is it because I'm using eucalyptus oil? Is it because I'm using myrrh? Is it because I'm using clove? Is it because I'm using peppermint? Is it because I'm using baking soda? Is it because I'm using neem or tea tree? I can't tell you that because I'm using all of those. So a few of my friends are joining me in this experiment, and they're doing it different than me. One is using sunflower oil, the other one is using just coconut and peppermint, and hopefully there's, you know, oh, I forget what the other one's going to be using, but, you know, we'll kind of put this all together, and they have pictures, and I think this will really provide inspiration to people just like me a couple weeks ago, thinking, is this really going to work? Maybe it's just one of those things on the internet, because really, I had talked to people. Most people are like, nah, I did it a couple times, it didn't work, so I didn't see any benefits. And a couple people were like, well, I think my teeth might be whiter, but okay, cool. I'm not doing this to have whiter teeth. I'm doing this to regrow a tooth and regrow my gums. And by the way, I'll tell you the whole story about that. So how this particular tooth with this hole, I told you I had that for, I don't know, lots of years. And I did remember, I don't even remember. Yeah, no, anyways, I don't remember if I told you in the last video. So I'll tell you the story here. I was 19 once, and I was invincible, thought I could do anything, and I met Heineken. And so, you know, that doesn't work, and it's so funny. My other friend has a chip in that tooth, in his mouth, in the same spot. So anyways, that's why I got that big old hole over there. But I'm going to show you all the pictures so you can just see this amazing transformation that's even blowing my mind, and I'm the one doing it, and I'm totally determined to do it too. You know, I'm going to find a way, whether it's pooling or whether it's yeah, kissing my winged lion gargoyle, or, oh, turtles. Can't leave the turtles out, so yeah. Whether it's kissing my turtles or whatever it is, I mean, I'm gonna find a way to do it, but the success in 1 week already is totally blowing my mind. So I mentioned to you the oils that I'm using for everyone that asks, okay? I'm using, and how I'm doing it. When I think about it periodically during the day, you know, I have all my oils in a bag. So I just like, oh, I want peppermint. Or if I feel pain, peppermint's awesome. Or, you know, a thought will pop in my head, oh, let's put some oregano. Put a drop, you know, forget about it. Then, oh, let's go brush my teeth. And by the way, I made the most disgusting, no joke, disgusting toothpaste ever. And, I mean, it's not about I could make it taste better if I wanted to put the effort, but I don't know, it actually almost it's kind of cool to like feel the burn, if you know what I'm saying. Like if this was all super easy and tasted like marshmallows and, you know, raspberry lemonade and chocolate ice cream, it would just, I mean, it'd be boring. It wouldn't feel like it was effort, right? So I know, isn't that crazy? It's a psychological thing. So my disgusting toothpaste is, and really it's disgusting. Did I say it's disgusting? Okay, just checking. It's neem, which is just disgusting. I love neem oil. It's so amazing, but I'm not one of those people that are fond of the flavor, the taste, the smell, and anyway, so neem oil, baking soda, peppermint, tea tree, and oregano. And that's it. So I just wet my toothbrush, dump it in there, and you know, that's what I'm brushing with. Now, in the last couple days, because my one friend said that he had a cavity and his tooth was all brown, and he started sleeping with baking soda at night. He did it like every night for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, he thinks his tooth regrew the hole where his cavity was because they're all white and strong and tight like it never even happened. No pictures. But anyways, so that's why I figure, well, why don't I try that? And sure enough, you can see the spots that are on a couple other teeth are like disappearing, which you'll see in a minute when I show you the photos, which will blow your mind. My mind's still blown. And you know, I don't expect it to accelerate this rapidly and, you know, continue at this speed through the whole process. I mean, not that I want to impose any expectations on it either, but I mean, it'd be cool if it keeps healing this fast, then I'll like be done next week. But you know, I realize this should take time. I do want to incorporate comfrey in the process. I have not found a comfrey near me yet that, you know, I can look harder and walk farther, and, you know, I will do that. I asked the woman at the health food store because I went there to see if they had comfrey, and they have this thing called COMFREE, and thankfully when the young girl was bringing me to the comfrey, the owner is like, oh no, that's not real comfrey. We're not allowed to sell comfrey. Like, what? Oh, it's illegal or something. What? Illegal? So of course that tells me it works, which, you know, I'm definitely going to find some comfrey. In fact, one of my friends who's going to be doing this with me, who's working on her teeth, she is actually growing comfrey. She's on a farm, so that's really awesome. And, you know, I've been doing research on that. Some people say the leaves, some people say the root, so I don't know. Have you done it? If you've done it, you know, send me a message, or actually better yet, make a comment so that anyone who watches the video can find it. But do you use the root? Do you use the leaves? Do you chew on them, the leaves or the root? Do you grind them up and put it in smoothies, or do you make a paste out of it, or, you know, what do you do? Speaking of what do you do, I'm also using spirulina and clay now. I've decided to incorporate that, and I might be adding excuse me, the modifilan, the brown seaweed, because it's like, oh my god, that regenerated my organs so fast. I'm thinking maybe if I rub some on there, that might help. But I just wanted to make this video showing you what I've done this week, what it looks like after this week, and also how to do it. I've been getting lots of emails, how do you do it? And it's really, really easy. So I'll do a little demonstration for you. And yeah, just, you know, put it in your mouth and swish it around. I'll tell you a couple rules that I have learned, and this is just for me based on my experience. By no means are they rules. Do what feels comfortable to you. But I know, like, doing it in the shower is recommended often, and that doesn't work for me. Because when I'm like rinsing off my face and my hair and everything, it's just kind of a natural reflex for me to open my mouth, you know, and the water's coming down on my face, cleaning me out. It's just what I do. So that doesn't work for me because I can't really keep it in my mouth. And morning, a lot of people recommend mornings. mornings don't work for me because if I could explain in the English language, because I'm a nut, because I live in other worlds and it's hard for me to transition and remember where I am, so I use that hour or so to just meditate, be by myself, stretch, and slowly come into this physical reality. Okay, we'll call it reality for purposes of this video so we don't scare anyone off. Okay, and yeah, so that doesn't work for me. What works for me is at night when I have quiet time and I can use it as a meditation or a visualization. So it's, you know, it's just kind of a focused time. Everything's quiet. I'm here alone. I can close my eyes and focus on everything reconnecting and being healthy and whole and white again, and giving thanks for seeing that done, as well as gratitude for everything I have now and how much worse it could have been given the first 35 years of my life. So, woo, this is like super good news for everyone. So I'm just, oh yeah, what's the other rule I learned? The other rule that works for me, again, they're not rules, do what feels good to you, is a couple times I've tried pooling with just the coconut oil, and man, coconut oil is just delicious. It just tastes good, and it's just so smooth and creamy, and sometimes it can just kind of slip down your throat without really noticing. And in the last video, I told you what happened my first night swallowing. Oh my god, this video, I could totally see how this could... I hear Louis B in the background. This is like a fetish video. Oh my god, yeah, so... I was, yeah. Anyways, so I decided to prevent... I didn't think that I swallowed, but apparently I did based on the effects that I experienced shortly thereafter. So I put a drop of essential oil in, or sometimes two if I accidentally drop it in there, and then I do the pooling, which is really just, you know, swishing it around, which you'll see. I'll do a demonstration here in a minute. So yeah, the essential oil works for me because it's so pungent, and you're definitely going to feel it in your cheeks, so you know where the coconut oil is at all times, so you don't really have to focus on the oil itself, right? Am I keeping it in my mouth? You know, that's kind of hard to meditate and visualize, and so the oil keeps it. Like, I know where it is, because peppermint or oregano, you know, there's flavor, there's burn, and if you accidentally swallowed some, like if you had to cough or something, which that's fun, by the way, but I'm getting really good at using my tongue and just kind of separating the airways. It takes practice. It gets easier and easier every day, but yeah, so that's the other rule that I learned for me, is put a drop of essential oil in there. So, okay, let me show you these pictures. Again, 7 days, today is 8 days, so I have 7 photos to show you. And let me just do that. Okay, yeah, so here's day 1. And look at the big gap between the tooth and the gum, and, you know, there's those spots on all those other teeth, and yellow, and cavity, you know, decay going on at the gum line. And then look at this gap here in that tooth where the hole is when I met Heineken at Hey 19. Those are old people jokes. Okay, never mind. Anyways, so look at day 2 now. Already you can see that gap is closing in a little bit, and it appears that the gum is raising slightly, or the tooth lowering, who knows. By the way, those first couple days the tooth was very, very loose. The 3rd day, look at that. Can you see the back of the tooth there? It's like that part of the gum already freaking healed. Oh my god. Okay, so, and again, teeth and gum getting closer together, gap a little smaller. Here's the next one. And you can see again, slightly better, slightly better. Day 6 is gonna blow your mind. Here, check out day 6. Okay, so this, obviously what I'm doing is clearly working. Again, I can't tell you, is it just the coconut? Do you have to have all of these oils and soda and stuff I'm using? Or I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe a little later in my experiment, I'll isolate all of them. And you know, some of the people who are joining me in this, maybe they'll choose to use different oils for periods of a time. But anyways, okay, day 6, and then here's day 7. Healthier gums, they're pink, the teeth are whiter, the gap is really closing in. It's very, very close. The gum line appears to be closer than the tooth. And by the way, if you've seen my videos or any of my photos posted on Facebook, it's clear that I don't know Photoshop. I don't have Photoshop. I don't know how to edit, you know, anything like that. I don't even own a program like that. So these are real photos, and that really is 1 week's time. So there you go. And okay, so I said I was going to teach you or show you, you know, what pulling is. You're not really pulling anything. You're just squishing. You're not gargling. Okay, don't go, ah. You're not gargling. You're squishing. And so this is how you squish. Okay. So that's how you squish. Anyway, so have fun with it, make funny faces, you know, I don't know, go knock on your neighbor's door and do it. I don't know, that'd be fun. I think you're crazy, but whatever. So again, this is an experiment, and we'll see. Thank you so much for all of the interest and all of your concern and questions and everything. I'm totally blown away. So obviously this is a big issue, and I think it's really big that me and several other people are documenting it closely. And come on. If anyone else wants to join us, please do. Trust me, I know how embarrassing it is to take photos of your corroded teeth, okay? And then put it out there for the whole world. Okay, so I know, and you know, you've all expressed that to me, and I know, I understand, but let me tell you, it makes a huge difference when people want to know if they can believe in a natural cure, okay? I mean, even I was tempted, oh, well, you know, there's no evidence any of this works, so, I mean, not one person that I know, or, so maybe I should just go to the dentist, right? And that's what people do. So, yeah, if you are doing this, I'd like to encourage you, you know, tell a friend, take pictures, write, you know, journal how you feel. And in regards to the journaling, by the way, I did want to share this earlier. I have read that people have sensitive gums in the first week, sometimes 2, or even sensitive teeth. I did not experience that until yesterday, but it's not my teeth. My teeth feel fine. My gums are a little bit sensitive yesterday and today. So that's the first, you know, kind of negative, I guess, aspect. But to me, it just shows, you know, obviously something is going on. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, so, you know, and if you're experiencing that too, keep going. I mean, our teeth didn't get like this overnight. And I think I'm really lucky. 22 years, this whole, okay, with 30 years of frickin' heavy duty pharmaceuticals. I mean, at some points in my life, 14 pills a day, inhalers, everything, and then find out now they all cause tooth decay, but whatever. Anyways, I think it's kind of fun to be able to figure these new things out. And so if you are doing it, just document it, or at least tell your friend or somebody on Facebook and let people know, because what's dentistry, like 900 trillion or billion, 900 billion or 900 million. I can't remember. I read so much, I just like in one ear, out the other, and 900 something. We'll just say million, we'll go on the low end, but I think it's billion really, a year. Okay, that's a huge freaking industry there. So we don't have to do it. And no, it's not a magic pill. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take diligence, but you know, it is so worth it. Save those dentist bills, save the pain, save the humiliation sitting there, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we think we could just drill holes in your teeth or pull them out and fill them with mercury and, you know, come on, where's the cure? Well, you know what? We're finding it. We're all finding it together. So thank you all for your emails and your comments and, you know, sharing your stories with me. And I probably won't do another video until after my 2 weeks of coconut, and then I'll start the sesame and again pictures and document it. But thank you all. Thank you for sharing your journeys, our soul journeys together. And woohoo! I can't wait till this is done. Bye!